evening from Bangladesh. This is your host Toufiq Zohur is speaking now. Welcome to our new episode. Today, our episode number is 210, and title of our episode today is The Star Poets Talk Show Part 3. Welcome to everyone to the beginning of a new episode. Though this is our third number of episode, our heart are connected with the poet of 60 countries in the world by the World of Poetry Recitations in Poet Voice online program. In the last 4 years, 530 global poets have recited poem on Uddan Television, the online platform of Uddan Little Magazine. Team Uddan wanted to spread the poetry of all poets in the world under one umbrella, that is Uddan Television. Till today, we are trying this. We believe poetry has no boundaries. We have a slogan, the sky of poetry is one. Now, Team Uddan is thinking about the next generations of writers who will come to write. Thinking about them, we have taken the initiative of interviewing the intelligent and talented poets of the present world. They will know one day the poetry and philosophy of their past senior poets. For that purpose, we are starting this new journey. Today, we are inviting two most intelligent and talented poets, different part of the world. One is from United States of America, that is global poetess Honorable Annette Tarpley, and the another one is from India. She is also talented, very intelligent poetess, Dr. Shalini Yadav. Welcome to our new interview show. We will ask them some question to know their answer. We will heard their poem by their reciting so that we are starting this show today, 9th June, Sunday. Now it is 9 p.m. evening in Bangladesh times. So first of all, I am going to United States of America to start this magical show, the interview show, the Star Poet Talk Show Part 3. First of all, I am asking the Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley, when did you first start to write?
I first start to write. I started to write as a child. I didn't write very much, but on occasion I would write mostly poetry. When I was 17, my dad and brother were killed in a plane crash, and that's when I wrote my most memorable poem and really kind of time stamped it. But it was read at their funeral, so that kind of started things. And through the years, I really haven't been able to write very much unless I was moved somehow, a major event. And then that changed about 4 years ago when I needed to come up with the material for my book, and it just started to flow. So since then, I've been writing prolifically.
Thank you. Thank you. Just to know that how you start your writing. And now I am asking the same questions to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. When did you first start to write, Dr. Shalini Yadav? Open your mic, please. Please open your mic.
Uh,
Open your mic.
yeah,
Right.
I did it. So I wanted to say that from childhood I had the habit of reading, but when we talk about writing, I first started to write in 2012. During my when I reached Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and that was surrounded by the symphony of Arabic language speakers, I felt there was a profound sense of solitude inside me. I felt very lonely there, and it was in the desert of loneliness that I found solace in the art of poetry. I started writing, started scribbling day by day. Initially, I used to write in any paper, whatever I had on my table, and then I started jotting down them, typing them, and every word I penned, I felt like that a drop, a fresh raindrop or a drizzle was nourishing my soul and satisfying the depth of my being that time. And so, in that way, I started writing, and I almost wrote every day in Saudi Arabia using the language of poetry to express my unspeakable and the voice within.
It means from the loneliness you were one day starting your writing. I think that's a very beautiful answer you have given us. And now I'm asking you the another question to Annette Tarpley. Who is the most influential person in your life as far as writing? Annette Tarpley. Who is the most influential person in your life as far as writing?
Probably my father. My father was probably the most influential person as far as writing or any type of skill that or anything that I might excel in because he was always my encourager and would believe in me and that I could do whatever I wanted to do. So even though he's been gone for 44 years now, there's a part of him that's always stayed with me and that I imagine in my mind that he somehow knows what I'm doing and is proud of me. So he's probably my major driving force in anything that I do that I excel in.
Thank you very much for your beautiful answer. We now understand that your father is your inspiration, and then you have to become start the writing. I am asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. Who is the most influential person in your life as far as writing? Dr. Shalini Yadav
Uh,
from India.
in context of a real person means the person close to uh, family or relatives, or if we talk about any professional colleague. So I would like to name Dr. Madhavi, because when I was working in Saudi Arabia, so that time she was my colleague and she was into writing, and that uh, seeing her into writing influenced me to write. And she used to say me that, Shalini, pour your heart in the form of writing on the page. So that was the first person, influential person in my writing journey. And moreover that, I would say that because from childhood I had this habit of reading a lot. So poetry has a way of weaving its magic through every poetic piece which I read in my childhood, even in my syllabus books, and wherever in newspapers, like we have Hindi newspapers and English newspapers. So wherever I used to read a poetic piece, I used to enjoy that a lot. And moreover that, I was very much connected with poets like Kamla Das, Amrita Pritam, and Sarojini Naidu in our country, and John Donne, the metaphysical poet, especially, and John Keats, and P.B. Shelley. These all were influential in my life to start writing poetry.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your beautiful answer. It's time to recite the poem. So, first of all, I am inviting Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley ma'am to please you read one poem for the viewers. I'm inviting Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley to recite her first poem today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I just came up with this one. This is a brand new one, so wrote it last night. I haven't been writing as much, so I was surprised I came up with something. But this is called Where Are You, Love? Where are you, love? Why do you hide from the heart that seeks you? a heart that has searched a lifetime for that which it has not found. Why would you deny your existence to a heart that beats with yearning vitality? Why are some bestowed with a gift of your presence while others are denied? Perhaps you exist in another realm, in a less tangible form. Are you the breeze that brushed my face with a gentle touch that awakened my senses? Were you the sun that kissed my face and warmed me to the core of my loveless soul? Were you the rain that cleansed the tears that befell my face, washing away all sorrow? Perhaps you were the moon. Perhaps you were the moon that cast the glow of love that filled my eyes with a light of hope. Maybe it is me, not you, that hides in fear of loss of control over emotions on the verge of eruption. I'm searching for you. Do you hear me? Do you feel the pulsations of my heart? Where are you, love? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley, for your beautiful poem once again. And now I'm inviting Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav to
Yes,
recite a poem.
thank you. And this was wonderful poem, Annette. I would like to recite the poem entitled "You Are Afraid." I'm nothing else, just your mirror image. Why are you so afraid? Sometimes you understand me, other times you not. Sometimes you try to forget me, other times you remember. If I say you stay inside me, or I say I stay inside you, what is the difference? Perhaps nothing. But still you are panicky and try to discard me. Why? Since I am another woman, so I don't have any right to own you, to walk with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really, it's amazing poetry. And now I'm again going to the interview site and asking the question to Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley. What is the definition of poetry in your thought? I just want to know from Annette Tarpley, what is the definition of poetry in your thought? We are collecting this interview for the next generation who will come to interview, because when after 20 or 30 years later the world when going to such a uh, unthinkable strategy, and there will something new will be happen, I think so. We are collecting this interview from this time. At present, the most talented and intelligent poet in the world, their thinking thought we are preserved in by YouTube and the Facebook. And after 20 or 30 years later, when the new generations will come, they will listen this, and they will understand that their senior poet and poetess just explore there. Thank you very much
I can't hear you.
honorable question, Honorable Annette Tarpley, for the question. What is the definition of poetry in your thought?
What is the definition of poetry in my, what was the last word? Just how would I define poetry? Um, I define poetry as kind of the heart trying to speak and lend a voice to words. And so it can take many forms. I think poetry, you know, doesn't always have to be something heartfelt. It can also go into other realms of beautiful ways that the word artist can choreograph the words into its own art form. And I think that it's something that lends beauty to literature and no other way. And so poetry to me is just kind of the essence of life, because I feel like it's in everything. It's we see poetry every day in life. So it's our ability to take that and express it into words to share with others. So that's what I think poetry is.
Thank you very much for your beautiful answer of the definition of poetry. Now I am asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. What is the definition of poetry in your thoughts? Dr. Shalini Yadav.
Uh, okay. According to me, poetry is something that to capture the ethereal. It sometimes it is real, and sometimes it takes you to the surreal world, and it is a kind of a delicate thread which is used to weave the fabric of our existence. Like Annette said that it is something related to the essence of our lives. So it is something related to essence of our lives, our existence, and it is a kind of feather couch or a cloud's couch sometimes for me, where I sit alone and I just enjoy and delve into the deeper areas of me inside me, and I see the emotions, what I feel inside me, and what I have empathy for others, and I put myself in the shoes of others, and I see that as a human. And sometimes it is also a mean to relish the beauty of life and nature, whatever we are surrounded with, and it also steers our senses, our sensibility, and transports our views and opinions to the realm or to the world of the readers. And we share, in a way, our experiences, our thoughts, our opinions.
Thank you very much, Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. It's the beauty of life. You have said the students before. Really, poetry unites people, and the poetry has no boundaries. So, really, it's amazing. The poetry is color of life. And now I'm asking the one question to Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley. Is there something regarding writing that you would like to achieve that you have not yet achieved?
Yes, I very much, before I even really began to write poetry a lot, I've always had a deep yearning to write a novel. So I want to write a novel someday when I get time. Of course, it takes a lot of time to do that. And I started one, a couple of chapters. I have delved into short stories, so, but writing a novel is what I want to do. Yes.
One thing, just a question. We know that you work hard and you work a lot of in your country, and after hard working, when you feel tired, but you are not. You are not feeling tired. In the whole day you are working, but at the night you are writing the poetry. Do you think that you have some achieved, or you have some uh, plan to reach the destination of poetry? What do you think?
Do you think that I have a plan to what? I'm sorry.
I'm telling one thing that after a long day, whole day you are working, and at night when the people are taking rest, but you did not take the rest, you are writing to poetry. For what purpose? For why you are writing when you need to rest, but you
Mhm.
did not take the rest, you are writing.
Well, I think because it is a way for me to alleviate stress and decompress. I think that anxiety and nervous energy um, can be used destructively or productively. So I like to take it, and instead of uh, worrying or something like that, I like to take it and funnel it into something creative, such as poetry. So to me, it's a release, and it is a way for me to express and to alleviate that build up of anxiety or whatever it may be. And so it's a release for me, and it's a comfort. So that is why.
Thank you. And now I'm asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Jadhav. Is there
Yeah, so
something?
topic in a
Yeah.
context of achieving something like which I have not achieved yet, I would say that life is a progressive journey, and there's nothing like that that this much we have achieved and this is we are going to achieve. Maybe we die next day, or what goals we have set we are not going to achieve that. So I feel the same in context of poetry also, that poetry is a progressive art form, and we keep on doing some experiment every time we write a piece. And and my goal is not, I don't have any competition with somebody or any set goals to achieve in life related to poetry. Poetry is something that which satiate my soul, and like Annette said, that sometimes it removes our anxieties and fatigue, and if we have some kind of stress in lives, and this is something that the recess areas of our life, we fill the gaps of materialistic life and the life within, the desires within. So it is something that we keep on trying, we keep on writing, and I feel that there's no way that I want to achieve something here via poetry. I just want to relish poetry of others, and I want others also to relish what I write.
Do you believe that if you write poetry, then you can remove the anxiety? You
Yeah,
told something.
definitely. That's what I say, that it creates in nerves. It feels like adrenal rush or a dopamine effect. That when you write a piece, your soul satiates from inside. You feel satisfied that you have done something for yourself, not for your kids, not for your husband, not for society, or not for anybody else. That this is something that what you have done for yourself, for your happiness, and that what you are uh, pouring into that page, or through the pen, or might be when we type on our phones or a laptop. So that is completely our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings, and a kind of our child. So and that we have created or given birth to.
Do you believe? I am just asking one question. This is not our regular question. One question I will ask both of you, that do you believe that poetry cannot write someone in the behind the scene? We cannot see him or her that can push up to write the poetry.
We cannot force. I did not understand the question well, but what I got
Actually,
is
I am telling you that poetry cannot write. Or if I tell some famous poet in the world that told that the first line of poetry come from heaven, and the other line written by poet. So I am talking you about from that sentence, that if you believe or not that poetry cannot write, someone can tell us, and someone we don't know who. That is maybe soul,
yeah, definitely there is a
maybe God, maybe other thing.
definitely definitely there is some medium. Maybe God has sent some medium. Maybe we are, if we are writing some feminist poetry, or if we are writing related to nature, or maybe if we have seen a butterfly somewhere, and we want to we enjoyed the beauty of the butterfly, and we wanted to just write that. So it is also something that God has given the message to write a poem about the butterfly. So definitely there is something which triggers us to write, triggers the poets to write, and like you said, that there is some unseen force behind that, that which gives power to the pen of a poet.
Right. So, the honorable poetess Annette Tarpley, what do you think that poetry cannot write someone behind the scene like God or some others to enforce to write the poetry? What do you think?
I think that that the writing, comes from the soul and within. I think that many things can prompt us. So you can give me a title and I can write. but what I end up coming up with is has to do with me, my experiences, life, what I've observed in life. So I think that we are sometimes able to pull from external prompts and then take them and make them our own, in that we are, you know, putting the building blocks of our lives into that poem. So whatever we might have observed, or whatever it may be. So I think poetry can come from many different areas as far as what prompts us into a poem, but ultimately what we produce has to do with what comes from the inside of us and we're able to express.
Yes. Do you think that poetry comes from the deepest place of heart, the first line, or comes from the sky, or from the mountain? The first line. I'm talking the first line of the poem. What do you think? Suddenly, maybe you went out of your home and visit a zoo, or visit a sea, or something like that, mountain or other natural scenario. You are walking, and suddenly you have seen that something is rolling in your mind, and then you become to sit down and start poeting. Do you start this line thing, or you cannot, or you write easily? How you start a poem?
How do I start a poem? Many different ways. So
What is the way? Just I want to
it,
know what is
it'll
the
it'll
way.
it'll come from a thought that I have. It'll come from, like you said, prompts that I hear or see. Um, it comes to me in many forms. So I don't really have one set. Sometimes, very often, the title will come to me first, and I'll start writing. And but then there's sometimes where I might put a title to it and then go back and change the title, that I've moved off into a different um, course of my poem, and it's totally diverted and taken a different path. And so it kind of flows. Once it starts, it just kind of flows. It doesn't take me long to write a poem. If I'm spending more than 15, 20 minutes writing a poem, that's a long time. So it just kind of is there. I don't mull over it very much.
Dr. Shalini Yadav, what do you think? The Annette Tarpley told us that by this way she is writing her poetry. What do you think?
Yeah,
How you
it
start the
depends. It depends. Every poet has a different style and different way and different time schedules, that whenever they feel triggered to write. Like even if uh, I'm traveling somewhere via flight, or maybe I'm watching clouds, or maybe I'm going through a train, or I'm watching the mountains and the beauty and the greenery. So it depends, and sometimes maybe we went to some relatives place, or somewhere in the somewhere in the surrounding, some where we felt that some kind of discrimination is going on, and some injustice is happening, and we just want to write about that. It depends, it varies situation to situations, that and sometimes it also happens that we the idea clicks in our mind, but still we are not able to pen that on a paper at that particular time, but that keeps on hanging there in the mind. So one day or another day, we are going to write about that. Until we don't write about that, our soul doesn't get proper rest.
Oh, yeah. From India, Sai Prakash, Honorable Poet, is watching this show. He has written greetings from India, Sai Prakash. Thank you, Honorable Poet Sai Prakash ji, to watch this show. From India, more people are watching, and from United States of America also watching. George Etzel. I am the same way. Aniti says Grace Etzel. Madhumita Dasgupta is watching this show. She has written best wishes. Poet Mahbub Setu is also watching this show. He has written Shubho Kamona. Poetess Kabbo Costa is watching this show from Bangladesh. From Vietnam, Pham Van Ah is watching this show. Uh, poetess from Kolkata in India, Krishna Boshak, is watching this show. She has written very impressive. Poetess Shivani Bakchi is also watching this show from Mumbai, Maharashtra, India. And I am happily announcing that the 40 countries and 91 group are sharing this interview show right now. Thank you very much who are watching different part of the world to watch this most talented and intelligent two poetess now this time. Thank you very much. And I'm asking again the one question to Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley. Do you write anything beside poetry? Annette Tarpley.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to unmute myself and it wasn't working.
Okay, no
Yes,
problem.
I do. I write short stories and get a lot of pleasure in doing that. So, other than poetry, pretty much short stories, and then my delve into doing a novel, in that I have started a couple of chapters but put it on the back burners. So, but in my mind, my first novel, I have it all laid out, the whole plot, where it's going to go, and things like that. I just haven't had the opportunity or time to do more than that. So,
Thank you. I'm asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. Do you
Yes,
write anything beside poetry?
yes, I do write. I do write short stories and haiban haiku poems, and articles for newspapers, columns for newspapers, and sometimes I interview people and I edit that also. And I write reviews of books and movies at times. And apart from that, because I'm an academician, so I have to write research articles, research papers also. And I initiated one novel also long back, but I haven't got time to finish that yet. Few chapters I had completed, but that is still haunting me every day and night.
It's mean that you are a novelist.
I wish I could be, but
Sure.
still it
Congratulations
is
and
maybe
success.
like
We
we
pray
have
for
some.
your success. We pray for your success.
Yes,
You become a novelist. Thank you
thank
very
you,
much.
thank you.
I'm asking the one question to you. Poetry has no boundaries. Do you believe poetry can change the world by its own dreamy way? Dr. Shalini Jadhav.
Yeah, sure. This is a very good question you have asked. That this Uddan TV and the efforts you are putting, Topic itself proves, ipso facto proves that poetry has no boundaries. And the other star we have from Pop, the Passion of Poetry, and Tarpley. So you both are iconic and symbolic in the field of poetry, that who have proved that poetry has no boundaries, and how you have given platform to the poets all over the world. So it itself proves. But still I would say, as you have asked me the question, that poetry, if we say that it uh, it touches the hearts. And when we and the language of heart is quite different from the language of materialistic societies and communities. And when we create boundaries of gender, race, religion, or maybe countries, ethnicity and color, and body shapes and all that, so this is above that all kind of boundaries. And there are many poets who have worked in this direction and have written poetry in this direction to awaken the souls and to steer the senses of people. Like if we talk about Rabindranath Tagore from India, the name is the poet who wrote about universalism. So he was the one that who promoted humanity, equality, peace in the society, and he wrote in Bangla, and those Bangla poems were translated, and he wrote Gitanjali. In my childhood, I had read about Gitanjali, and this is what that had created interest in me for poetry. So in a way, he united Bengal, because Bengal was parted into two parts, and he united Bengal. So, in a way, poetry unites people, and poetry removes, eradicates all kind of boundaries between people.
All right. Thank you very much for your beautiful answer. And Rabindranath Tagore has written his every word in Bengali language, but he has to achieve the finest award, that is the Nobel Award, during his due to his poetry. And the Gitanjali, we know, who read that this is the totally the voice of God like things. We told when we read in the English book in our study life that we heard, and we have to understand that the P.B. Shelley, George Milton, and the Byron. We told them the voice of God. In Bengali language, the Rabindranath Tagore, his every speech, every sentence is from, we're thinking that that is the voice of God. Thank you very much for your beautiful answer. I'm the same question, asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley. Poetry has no boundaries. Do you believe poetry can change the world by its own dreamy way? Annette Tarpley.
Well, I certainly feel like poetry does not have any boundaries, that it can be used in many forms, in many ways, however the writer wants to utilize it. We can use it to, of course, change the world, and that we can bring our thoughts and issues that might be rather controversial or at hand, or maybe not controversial, but we can bring new light and new thought and insight thinking in man, and perhaps offer other new perspectives and ways of looking at different issues. So we certainly have a lot of power in our pens, and our ability to weave our words into whatever it is that we finally produce, that that really has power and that can move people. I think that probably many minds have been changed by the ink of a poet, in that they can enlighten the world into many different avenues of thought. So I certainly think that with it comes a certain responsibility that we have as writers to bring a message, whatever it may be, um, and and hopefully not do it in a negative way. There's times where, I'm not always upbeat 100% with my poetry, but I believe that it doesn't mean I'm depressed or anything like that. But I think that, the heart bleeds in many ways. It can rejoice or it can bleed, and that giving words to, both things, whether it's happiness, sorrow, love, or nature, or whatever it may be, is certainly at the discretion of the writer. So yes, I think that we have great power in our pens.
Yes, poetry has great power. Thank you very much for your answer. And from India, Rajasri Mahapatro is watching this show. And from Argentina, my friend Pilar Lopez Amorelli also watching this show. She has written very interesting thoughts. From Bangladesh, Professor Mir Abdul Razak is watching this show. Thank you very much who are watching this show and who will watch after the show. Thank you. Just I want to ask one question, the both of the talented poet this show. How many poetry book you have published, Anita Play, ma'am?
I have published two poetry books. My first one, which is Poetry Potpourri. My second one was co-written with Safraz Ahmed, and it's called Two Hearts. And trying to work, I haven't had much time to work on my third one, which I want to come out this year still, but that's on the back burner. And I've also published a children's book, The Bird and the Dragonfly. And in my name is published, but name only, of course, the anthology for the first anthology for the Passion of Poetry. So hopefully we can work on one of those again in the future. But that's about all. Of course, I'm published in many books as far as single or up to three to five poems in other publications. But those are the only ones I've done so far.
Thank you. Now I am asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. How many poetry books you have published?
I have published four books till now. Three in English. The first one was Till the End of Our Subsistence. The second, Kinship with You. It's here. And the third was Floating Haiku. And that was related to haiku poems. And the fourth one is which was in Hindi. So that the name of the Hindi poetry book is Chitij Ke Us Paar. And apart from these four, I have edited one anthology also, Cross the Seas, and you both have been the contributor of that.
Yes,
And
I remember.
yeah,
And
so this
now
is what, yeah,
I am
and still
asking
I'm
you another
collecting
question.
more to
Yes.
get published in future.
I'm asking you another question, Dr. Shalini Yadav. What was your feelings after complete haiku?
Uh, Feeling, actually, haiku is a little bit, you can say, intellectual kind of poetry that you have to, uh, means you have to concise your feeling within a few syllables, in
Only
17
those,
syllables,
yes,
that you cannot go beyond that. So that is the beauty of that, that whatever you want to say, you will have to choose words wisely to
yes.
finish what you want to say. So it
Haiku
itself
from
was a
Japanese.
different kind of experience
Yes,
writing haiku, and
yes,
that connected me more with nature. And I did research about many marine, you can say, creatures and creatures, earthly creatures, and natures of different and seasons of different countries while writing haiku poems. So that was altogether a good experience at that time when I created this book.
yes. Haiku is very small poem. It's from Japanese. The
Yes.
thinking thought and the theme is very deep, but the word is very few. So I am asking this question: what you feeling after complete haiku? Thank
If
you
you
very much.
want, I can read next. When you ask me to read next poem, I would like to read few haiku rather than a poem.
Yes, you are right. Absolutely, you are right. And now, this time, I am again requesting to Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley to recite one poem for the viewers.
Okay. Well, we've been talking about a lot about poets and writers and how we do things and things like that. So this is actually a great video that's on YouTube that Alan Johnson did for me, and it's called "The Hunger of the Poet." The hunger of the poet is fed by words, manipulated into a myriad of stanzas, as his pen greedily begins to ink the stark white pages of paper, his mind conjuring tales of truth or fiction, perhaps both, as he embellishes simple truths and sprinkles them with mindful imaginations. He is compelled to write, for if he does not act upon the choreographed lines that flood his conscience, he will become physically ill from suppression. Formation of his word art is unleashed at the break of day, like the rushing waters that cascade from a waterfall. There is no defined beginning or ending of its journey. Poetry was there from inception, sometimes laying dormant for years until an event in time occurs, opening the portal in the poet's soul. Once poetic creativity is awakened, the poet is compelled to write, as life feeds the hunger and yearns to have full reign, and is not dictated by conformity. There are no rules that will sequester the ink from spilling, the thoughts from accumulating, nor will his imagination be confined into social adherence. The catalysts that prompt his writings are limitless, as his emotions further fuel the hunger that is insatiable, oblivious to the undertones, always half empty. The only promise of cure from this epidemic hunger is the intuitive knowledge that the promise of tomorrow will squelch the gnawing briefly, satisfied that the ink shall spill again. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your beautiful one poem again. Once again, you have to read. And now I am inviting Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav to recite a poem for viewers. Dr.
Thank
Shalini.
you. Thank you, Toufiq. And this was wonderful poem, Annette. I would like to recite few haiku here. Dew drop on leaf's edge, basket in the glory of life before it met doom. Second, bulbous clouds in sky, not nimbus, waterless white, monsoon's departure. Angry waves of bay surge towards the shore to fight, shore stillness conquers. Roses, laden plant, standing amid cactus lane, shows survivor's pride. It is just beginning, mind is not intent to rest. A haiku, cure. Farmers of God's field, to seed, grow, pluck, distribute, life's basket of fruit. Bard's art of filling, thoughts color with lyrics brush on reader's canvas. Trusting a core gate for life's longest race to win, I gambled away. A drowned mossy ship in Mediterranean, life marooned in sight. Clouds of fog blown in from Caribbean forests, spreading Christmas joy. Sand dollar moving across brown seabed slowly, like mermaids lost coin. And the last one, hedge crickets creaking, in combo of waterfalls, my fatigue relieved. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your beautiful some haikus. I told you before the haiku is very short poem, but it means it's too much deep. Basket of life, farmers of God. That is a very simple and very short line, but its depthness is too much deep, and it touches our heart when the people or the readers read it very carefully and attentionally, and they will feel the joy from this poem. Thank you very much for your beautiful poem.
Thank
Now I'm asking one question to Honorable Poetess Annette Tarpley. What is your future plan about your poetry?
Um, well, my future plan is obviously to write my next book. So my third book, actually my second solo book. So that is my plan. But more than that, I'm always trying to just promote poetry in general, and of course bring light to other poets and their talent. So always trying to get poetry out there and infuse more in our society. That's my major goal.
Thank you very much. I am talking with you now. One thing that I am talking about pop, that is fashion of poetry. We are working with you. You are the president of our that organization, and when you start this organization, we never thought it crossed the 1,30,000 plus the peoples are engaged in this organization. I am just asking you, as a honorable president of POP, what is your future plan for the POP?
Well, I think it's going to be, coming up with things, continue to come up with creative ideas to um, get poets involved in writing and so forth. And I think a lot of times, um, our ability to do that through contests and different means and creative ways of doing that. So I just, the community is growing, of course, but my major goal with it is to make it not feel like a community that has a lot of people. It's hard to manage all of that, but to hopefully make everyone feel like, it's their home, and that they feel comfortable within it, and that it's not my site. It's our site. So I feel like each member is just as much their site as it is my own. So just moving forward, I guess, just to continue to promote them and their poetry, and sustain hopefully a homey feeling within the community.
Thank you very much, Honorable President of POP, for your beautiful answer. I'm asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. What is your future plan about your poetry? Dr. Shalini
Yeah, looking towards the future, I feel that we all are working with a mission of unity and growth together. And like we have already talked about pop passion of poetry, that it has crossed boundaries and reached a very good height in context of you can say a number of people connected with us, and we have developed a website also, like same with blessings of Annette and Toufiq, both of you, and many more other poet friends, we started an initiative, literary e-magazine Literati also, and we have a magazine with pop also, and that is to support and promote poets and writers across the world, across the globe, and through like uh, um, not any specific future plans. Gradually, like I want that because in India, we when we talk about the authenticity of a magazine, so we have to go for some government, you can say, applications to get one number for the egg magazine. One authentic number is given, so we are going to apply for that. That is my future plan for the magazine, that I want that to be an authentic one in the country. And uh, and apart from that, we all are united. We are doing talk shows, poetic shows, open mics, and other kind of gatherings, and we are um, we are going for contributing in anthologies or editing anthologies on our own, and there's a lot more going on to foster the community and to share the ideas and to celebrate the poetry and the creative people. So as a poet, I believe in the power of collective growth, that we all should grow collectively. And I find great joy in promoting others and getting promoted by others. So it is not that I'm something that who is going to promote everybody, but I want to be promoted by others also at the same time, by good friends, by and we want everybody's voice to be heard together.
thank you. Thank you very much. Both of we are working in POP. So, POP is a place of organization
Pop
that
is you can say bigger umbrella.
is the biggest place in our heart,
Give
and
the
also
shade to each and every
we
poet.
believe that we are in what one platform, that is the pop, and in this platform, the Uddan Little Magazine, online television, Uddan Television, we think that it is also the platform of Dr. Annette Tarpley, because she has done a beautiful and fantastic and also amazing platform. Every day when I entered into the pop poetry arena, I read minimum 5 to 7 poems, different part of the world poet, and I'm surprised they are writing. they are writing, and they are trying to publish their poetry in pop. So they always send their poem. When they write one poem, they send to the pop, please publish it, and I read it, and I think that they are trying every day. They are trying to build up their writing in grown up. So one day I believe by this way, Dr. Annette Tarpley, one day she will become a very big banyan tree for
Many of my relatives have, you can say, following pop the Facebook page.
yes.
So it has reached to means wider audience, wider reader range.
Exactly, I agree with you because she has done a excellent work, and for a symbolic also a very remarkable place in the world she has created by pop. Thank you very much, both of you, and I am. We have to reach the last time in this section today's work, and I am asking you the last question, both of you, that I'm asking first time, and the last question to Anita Play. What is your advice for the new writers? Anita Play.
Mhm. I guess my advice for new writers is to write. Just let it flow. I think sometimes writing can be intimidating to someone who is maybe not used to writing. And so they just kind of need to let it flow, pen to paper, just start writing. And the other thing I think is that when you begin to read others' works, then you can appreciate different styles, ways of thought, uh, just a whole array of talent that exists in the community that lends its own teaching to writers. And, we of course have the great classics, but then we have our own great classics within our community now. I think that there's so much talent that is out there. And so it's a way for us to improve our writing once we kind of delve into writing of others. So just write, um, know that there's not any boundaries. Don't be scared to change your style or, you know, how you may write something. I like not to be confined into a certain style and like the freedom of my pen and just expressing. So express, write, and most importantly, enjoy it. Hopefully, it too will become your passion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Poetess Anita Play, for your beautiful answer in the last question. I'm asking the same question to Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav. What is your advice for new writers?
Yeah, actually, I would say that Annette has already said about that what advices I wanted to give, but still I would offer this advice for the novice writers that listen to the whispers of your soul. Don't ignore that. Whatever your heart says, listen to that, and pour those words through the vessels of Lexus on a paper, and take a pen, or maybe if you have your phone in hand, so what, whenever, even if you write the keywords whatever are haunting you at the time in your mind, so just write the keywords. Later on you can frame your whole piece of poetry, and start expressing yourself. Don't think about it what others will think, and will they appreciate, will they understand, will they be able to comprehend your writing or not. Just don't think about these all barriers, just because initially you need to kickstart yourself, trigger yourself, and steer yourself from within to start writing and expressing yourself, to boost up your morale and confidence. Later on you can think of progress in the context of in terms of considering the nuisances of linguistic competence, that you can check grammar, you can check spelling errors, or you can check that you have used the particular specific apt word, appropriate word at the place or not, and in that context you can start reading, like what Annette has said, that start reading others works also to improve your own writing. So it is a kind of vast ocean of knowledge that where you have to step into to read others works, conduct research related to that. Like I said, that when I wrote haiku, I read a lot about seasons of other countries, and marine creatures, and earthly creatures, and nature and animals and all that. So conduct research, read more and more to enrich your writing, to give your brain some food, and with every passing day you will become better and better day by day in your writing. And this is what, that we don't have a competition with others, and whatever we are writing, every word, every piece of poetry is a step forward, to evolve ourselves, to improve ourselves, to make us a better person, or a better writer, better poet. So that's what I would like to advise the new writers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav, for your beautiful advice for new writers. Yes, there is no alternative way to a reader to read. More and more read, and then more and more learn. If you not read, you cannot learn. So, the new writers, new readers, new writers, everyone must needed more and more read, because the world is now, this 21st century is going on. There are so many writers are writing their prose, poetry, article, novel, short story, haiku, different part of the world. So every new writer should need to select some books from different part of the world to know what they are writing, what is their thinking thought. Then they become the good writer, become the best writer in the world. So thank you very much, both of you, to giving us the time for this interview show. And really it was amazing. And after 20 or 30 years later, when the new writers will come to start their writing in this writing world, they will search and find out this interview, I believe it, and they will try to know what was their advice by their senior writer. Thank you very much for your beautiful answer, also beautiful your poems. And finally, I am asking the same question as we ask in the question of our carnival show that the last time, and same here. I am asking the one question to Annette Tarpley, ma'am. What do you think about today's program, about your feelings, about your poetry? 30 seconds only.
Um, well, I think that this program is great, and it's an opportunity for us to, for you to go ahead and highlight and promote poetry in the way that we want to do as far as getting it out there. It's great to have this mode and means to not only capture poetry but also the artists, and to be able to share that with others. So I think that you need to keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for everything. And it's been a pleasure and an honor to be here on your program today. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much, Honorable Poetess and Play, for your beautiful answer. I am asking the same question to Dr. Shalini Jadab. What you think about today's program, about your feelings, about your poetry?
Yeah, thank you, Tawfiq Bhai. First of all, I would like to say thank to both of you, as we sometimes we are engaged in our own world, or we are engrossed in our own world so much that we don't have time to say hi, hello to friends. So here I got a chance to have a good, healthy discussion with both of you after a long time, and we had some good concerns related to poetry, that how what poetry is, how in past poetry had been, and how it should be in future when we impart in the next generation, that what kind of poetry should they write about. And there was one question that touched my heart a lot, that poetry, what is the power of pen? And Annette had given a very good answer of that, that power of pen is really very good, that it creates changes, social changes in the surroundings, and even it helps in nation building, social changes, and it eradicates many malpractices from the society, and promotes equality, humanity, peace, and that is what that we are also doing the same here, and we are giving the same message to the society. And I really thank you, Tawfiq, to give me this chance to be here with both of you, stalwart poets, global poets.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Poetess Dr. Shalini Yadav, for your beautiful answer. And really, I am very much happy and feel proud that two talented and very intelligent poets in this world at present, they are present today and they give their speech and they have delivered their speech and also they have recited their best poem today. Thank you very much. And only Uddan Little Magazine platform, online television Uddan is the breeze. We are trying to make the breeze across the world because different part of the world there are so many poet and poetess are writing poetry, novel, short story. We are trying to connect it each and other because we believe, and also Aniti ma'am also believe that poetry has no boundaries. You are also believe, my dear elder sister Dr. Shalini Yadav, that we are trying to make a breeze across the world, that we stay and we are living under one umbrella, that is poetry umbrella. So we are in one platform. Thank you very much for giving us the time, and we will invite you in the more and more times. Thank you very much. Have a good day, good evening. God bless you, everyone. Bye bye.
Right. Right.